On everyone, we got exactly what we had hoped for in the Chargers-Chiefs game. Great Thursday night football game, a showdown, a real, battle of the guards when it came to the Titans that are Patrick Mahomes and Justin Herbert. I mean, they did. They were really wheeling and dealing, and it was quite a interesting game, in my opinion. I really believe the Chiefs were going to lose that game. I really think the Chargers were going to pull that game out until the pick six. I think the pick six essentially put the game away because as soon as that happened, that it just became too much. You didn't score on the next drive. They end up, kicking the field goal, and that's all she wrote. Where the Chargers, they were there the entire time. They were looking good. They were looking great. They started off great. The Chargers just from front to back. I mean, the run game, the offense, Herbert was throwing spectacular plays. The defense, it looked like Patrick Mahomes was rattled. It looked like, like they just couldn't really get no momentum. The Chargers, the run game was looking great, which was surprising because it didn't look very good against the Raiders last week. And they looked like a team that was prime and ready to win this game, to do exactly what I talked about earlier when I was making my predictions and stuff like that. I said it would be hard to count out the Chiefs, but I thought the Chargers would come out with that blaze. I thought the Chargers would come and hold on and win that game. And they would have. I really think they would have if they didn't give that pick six. I think it's just that killed everything. You're about to score. It was a 14-point swing, literally, because you would have gotten that. You would have gotten the 7 on that end. Assuming the kickers and stuff like that. But they both have really good kickers. So it's like, okay, you get 7. But no, instead of you getting 7, you give up 7. Talking again, it's a 14-point swing. That's huge. Where if it was just an interception, kneel down, maybe you get the stop, maybe you're back in the game. But the fact that it was, a 99-yard pick six, that absolutely just killed them. But the Chargers, they still look good. I mean, their defense looked great. Both sides of the ball were really good. I think the Chargers may be the most well-rounded team. It's just when you're playing against these juggernauts of teams, you can't make mistakes like that. That's what it is. It's the first team to throw a pick six wins or loses that game. Because you just basically balanced everything out. Up until that point, it was beautiful. Up until that point, you were looking great. But as soon as you give up a 99-yard pick six, that's it. You're pretty much, unless you're, dominating the game or something crazy like that, which this was just that. But outside of the pick six, the quarterback play was fantastic. But we'll touch on that in a minute because I want to talk about the Chiefs as a whole. They were very impressive to me, as always. I mean, it's the Chiefs. Look, I didn't think they did anything too spectacular. I didn't think the Chiefs were that great either. I didn't think that they didn't look like that dominant fashion style team that we saw against the Arizona Cardinals. I thought against the Cardinals, they looked unbeatable. But I think here, I felt like it wasn't. I felt like they looked, I don't want to say pedestrian, but they looked like a team that was very, very beatable. Patrick Mahomes looked rattled. He didn't play the game that he usually plays, which, I mean, he didn't play a bad game. Like, let me make that clear. It's not like he was terrible or anything like that, but he didn't play that incredible, 4 or 5 touchdown game. Let's throw for 300 yards, stuff like that. Herbert on the other end did. And that's why I really think the Chargers would have won this game. I just think that pick six changed everything. And, credit to the Chiefs. The Chiefs made the play. That was just on the inside. I don't know why the receiver cut out. Maybe the receiver just thought that, it was going to the outside, but instead he threw it to the inside. And then, the Chiefs was able to just jump the gun and that's all she wrote, But nonetheless, I mean, the Chiefs, they did what they had to do. They won the game. They put themselves in a position to win the game. I just think it wasn't the Chiefs' performance that I thought, but that's what I was talking about before. I thought this game meant more to the Chargers than it did the Chiefs. I think the Chargers wanted and needed to win this game more, and now I think the Chiefs win the division. I think whoever won this game was going to win the division because everyone else is already a game behind, and if any of those other teams lose a game, which I think the Raiders lose another game, I think the Broncos lose another game. I think that neither of those teams can beat the Chiefs or the Chargers. So I think that they're both. I think these are the two teams that are gonna win it. And I think if the Chargers would have beat the Chiefs, I really, really think that the Chiefs, that the Chargers would have won this division. I really do. I mean, I'm not saying they can't, but I look at the schedules, I look at everything, I think it's going to be pretty close. The Chiefs have a slightly tougher schedule, but I think it's going to be pretty close. And I think that the Chiefs are just get it done. They look like a team that's on a mission. And so I really, really credit them. I think they did fantastic. I really feel like the Chargers really blew it. I think that they just beat themselves. It's just whenever you're playing these elite games, it's just that one mishap. That's all this is, because both of these teams are so good, so talented, so incredibly evenly matched. I said it even before that Justin Herbert might be the only quarterback in the league that can keep up with a Patrick Mahomes if he's on. And Patrick Mahomes wasn't on, and Herbert was fantastic. Again, Patrick Mahomes was fantastic. I really do want to make that clear. I don't want to make it seem like, oh, Patrick Mahomes played a terrible game. Like, no, he was fantastic. He was 24-35 for 235 yards, had 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The guy was fantastic. But that's not Patrick Mahomes. Like, Patrick Mahomes is closer to what Justin Herbert did today, which was 33 of 48, 334 yards, 3 touchdowns, and then that one interception just negated everything. And then, of course, the injury. That, I think, is the biggest problem for the Chargers. Seriously, because you need Justin Herbert to be healthy. And it looked like he broke a couple ribs, if not a rib. And it was a clean hit. It wasn't a hit that was anything uncalled for, anything unnecessary. No, it was a clean hit. It just hit him the wrong way. You could tell, and he was wincing. He was just you could tell it messed him up. But he was still able to get that touchdown. So credit to him. I mean, he's tough. Justin Herbert is tough, man, and he is an incredible quarterback talent. This duo, this showdown, I am so excited for the future of football. I can't wait I want these two to play 10 times a year. Them, the Bills, maybe like the Bucks, but Tom Brady's only going to be around so much longer. Like, these two teams and the Bills, I could watch play each other all day because it's always a shootout. Both teams are pretty evenly matched. I do. I could watch that. Like, I can't wait to watch that for the next 10 years. But sticking to the injury is that Justin Herbert, like, I hope it's nothing too major. I hope he's able to recover. Maybe it's just some bruised ribs or something like that. But the last thing the Chargers need is him missing even a week, especially in that division. That division the AFC in general is insane. I mean, every team got better. Every team is just stacked. Like, it's shocking how good the AFC is this year. And I think that you need every game possible. I think it's going to come down to who's the healthiest come, playoff time and into the playoffs, and who makes the big plays at the right time. And that was the big problem. I really think the Chargers dropped the ball. I really think the Chargers missed their moment. I think that this was their moment to establish themselves, to show we're not little brother, but once again, big brother came in, give me that, took candy from a baby, and just ran away with it, literally, and closed the game out. And it sucks, because look, I'm not a fan either way, so I could care less either way, but I really thought, like, I look at the Chargers roster and their underperformance last year, and they fixed all of their holes. They are so good. Like I said, they might be the most well-rounded team in the league, front to back, and just depth-wise and just all of it. But they dropped the ball. This was a huge, huge moment for them. This isn't like one of my rants, because, look, they just lost the game. Like, this was a game that they should have lost. Like, usually when you hear me, having an aneurysm because a team lost, it's usually because they just were terrible and they shouldn't be, and they lost to somebody that they shouldn't have. Like, that's not this here. Like, this was a coin flip game. Like I said, this game's going to come down to to the end of the game. And that's basically what it did. If it wasn't for the pick six, I still believe whoever had the ball last was going to win the game. Assuming the Chargers didn't have like a 7-point, like let's say it was a tie game. If the Chargers had the ball last at the end of the game, I think they won. And I think if the Chiefs, had the ball at the end and they were able to go down and score a win, I think they would have won. But I think the Chargers were in a position from start to finish to win that game. And it was looking really good. It looked like they were about to take over, score that touchdown, get that lead, change the tide of the game. And then who knows what happens. And that pick six is going to come back to haunt Justin Herbert for sure. But nonetheless, anyway, again, it was a great game. I loved it. I enjoyed it. I appreciated it. But what do you think? Did you like the game? Did you hate the game? Who did you want to win? Who did you think would win? What did you think of that interception? Do you agree with me that, that was the killer? As soon as he threw that pick six, that was it. It was over. And I said that, as I was watching the game, I was like, oh man, Justin Herbert just lost the game. I was just like, that's it. Damn, that sucks. I was like, they were doing so good. They were looking so good. That was it. That's the difference between the winning and losing in the game of football. A game of inches, literally. But I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. However, that being said, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, followed by the bell notification. Stay up to date with all things sports. Join this wonderful community and all of our discussions. I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you.